Um, if anything, it's fine that you're new. Like, I might not be able to point out obviously everything, and I can
Yeah.
tell you to do certain things, but it kind of takes time to really put them into application. I can tell you how to, you know, mix up your edge guards or mix up your defensive options, but it's one of
Right.
those things that you have to, repetition really creates the success with it. So I'm kind of laying out the tools for you and going, all right, this is how you can do it, and then it's on you to apply those things, remember them, kind of dissect it on your own. But I will definitely do my
Hmm.
best to give you the general idea on how to do things and try and point out what I can.
Amazing. Yeah, sounds great.
So I guess to start, what character do you play?
So I main Wario.
Okay.
I that's the character I've played the most, at least. Like, I have a little bit of experience with some other characters, but that's the one that I like the most.
Okay.
The one that I've been going to locals with. So I figure I probably should just stick with him.
No, that's fine as long as you're enjoying them. That's the biggest thing I always say. Um,
Yeah, interestingly enough, well, like, I picked him because before I was playing Palutena, but it was against, like, coworkers, and I found that Palutena was, like, way too easy to win, because she could kind of, like, zone people out really well, and
Yeah.
I wanted a character where, like, it was a little bit less easy to do that.
okay,
Um,
that's fine.
So, yeah, I figured Wario would be good because, well, one, like, some of his moves are really punishable, and then second of all, like, he has kind of stubby hitboxes for the most
Yeah,
part.
yeah. He really gets on through. He has solid combos, obviously, and he's got
Right.
good mobility, even if his hitboxes aren't the best. So instead of like hitting you with a disjoint, he kind of puts himself on top of you, and if it works, that's really good. If it doesn't, it can get a little hairy.
Yeah, that's kind of what I like about him, is the fact that I kind of almost like have to take a risk.
Yeah. Okay.
In kind of trying to get in. So.
Well, that's cool.
I
That's
just
cool.
saw your.
Yeah, I posted in
Yeah,
the
of course.
Discord the room information so you can join up. I have my random switch. It's set. It's like to most of the tournament legal stages that you would see at
Cool.
all around the country. How much experience do you have fighting Olimar?
Well, I have seen your Olimar.
Okay.
I know a couple things about Olimar, but I don't have any experience against him.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
No, no, no.
Um,
You're fine. You're fine. I asked because generally when I'm giving lessons to people who don't play Olimar, I try to get an idea of how, well, one, how good they are as they feel as a player, but also how much Olimar experience they have, because he's one of those characters that if you don't understand how he functions or how to
you
fight him,
get fucking
you're getting like, blown back, flabbergasted by all this information. So actually, what I would want to do is start out with a more traditional character who can kind of gauge your general skill, like see how you fight, more traditional top tier or whatever it is, and then
Sure, yeah.
later in the session, kind of see how you would handle my Olimar, things like that. But fighting, if you're fighting a Lucina or a Mario or whatever it is, I can go, okay, you have these, more fundamental issues as opposed to, okay, you're fighting Olimar and you had no idea how to deal with Pikmin.
Right. Yeah. Probably sounds appropriate to start. Yeah.
Cool. So I will start out with Lucina to start. Definitely a character that can give Wario a little bit of trouble with that range. But I want to
A
see.
little bit. Yeah.
I want to see how you'll handle it. What would you say your weakest area, or the area that you're looking to most improve on, is right now that you feel?
Um. Well, it's kind of difficult because I'm way better offline than online. Like, the lag does.
Yeah, that's
make me play a lot worse.
that's totally fair.
I think that in general, though, execution, like, I have kind of been practicing some of Wario's, like, combos, but I can't get them consistently, or I can't get, like, the whole thing. I can
Yeah.
only get, like, almost all of it.
Okay.
Also, like, oh, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Go on.
Like, I guess related to execution, like, there's times where I feel like I have the read, so to speak, but I don't. I either miss my opportunity to, like, take advantage of it, or I guess I'm in a situation where I'm like, oh, I have the read. What is the best option for me to, like, punish?
Like they might roll there, but you don't know what to do when they roll. Is it?
Right.
Yeah.
Or, like, sometimes I'll try to get a grab on them when they roll, and I'll just be like, a couple spaces off.
Yeah, like
so
you're just
it's
barely
nice to
off of
grab.
it.
Right.
Just briefly touching down on that, the execution thing is definitely one of those practice makes perfect. It's the more you're doing it, the more you're going to get comfortable in landing that tech or that combo or that movement. I know I've personally never been the type of person who was, grinding out the combos in training mode, so to speak, but I can say from talking with other people and just, even going in there for other reasons, that repetition really does pay dividends, because you're training that muscle memory. You're, kind of learning almost like a mental muscle memory too, where when you land that up smash or that up tilt or whatever you're landing, you know where they're gonna go, so you're already having an easier time getting there, or what the variation of distance they can go based on how they DI it, if it's like in or out and things like that. And then
That's perfect, yeah.
the second thing, how you were saying, sometimes you make a read but you can't always punish it in time. A lot of the times players you'll be in like a scuffle, or you'll be in an interaction, and you'll have an idea of what you think can happen, but you have some level of reservation inside you where you're like, okay, I think he's gonna roll here, but I don't want to commit first or too early and then miss my chance and then get punished.
Right, and then you end up doing it anyway, and
Yeah.
then you end up being too late.
So
and, yeah.
what the mentality that I like to approach it with is that kind of like, not blind confidence, but resounding confidence in yourself. That's like, okay, I know that he's going to roll here, or I'm betting it all, so to speak, and that he's going to roll here, because if he does roll here, I already made the read, I'm ready to punish him. Okay, well, if he does roll here and I didn't put all of my confidence in it, I wasn't ready to it, maybe you're waiting to see him roll so you can react, per se, right? Well, that's slower than just going for it and preparing yourself for the timing. And a lot of the times in Ultimate, things are so lagless or so weirdly timed for your punish windows that if you're delaying or waiting for yourself to visually react or something like that, it is too slow. So you do need to have the confidence in yourself and go, okay, I've down tilted his shield 3 times or whatever is Wario. I think he's going to do this option, and then you go for it. And it's kind of like a give and take. I'm not saying always take that gut instinct to just run and throw out that risky option, but give yourself benefit of the doubt a lot of that time and go, okay, I'm committed to making this read. So I need to make it, because if I'm, pulling my punches, so to speak, it's not gonna only ruin that read if I try and make it then, but I'm also, if I decide to back out at the last moment, I've been hesitating, and you're just burning up that time that you don't really have.
Yeah, and then that kind of sets you off for the rest of the match.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh damn, I missed that.
Because then you're inside your own head. You're like, okay, well, I messed that up. I messed up my kill confirm or my thing I had. Now, I gotta try even harder and things like that. And those are always like issues that you're gonna run into as a player. Even pro players mess up and it eats them up. But the thing about the better you get at the game is you're very confident in what you do. You know what you want, and everything's very deliberate. It's like you dash attack here, so because they're gonna try and do something. But with that said, we can get a couple games in, and I can see what I can point out for you.
Sure, yeah. Really quickly before we start, I think also some of the things I want to work on is like getting out of disadvantage, and especially like landing without just getting like raw F smashed.
Okay.
I think that I kind of like do air dodges weird and stuff.
Yeah.
So I want to work on that.
All right. If I'm noticing anything, I'll definitely let it point out. Wario is one of those characters that he has pretty good air speed, and he's got things like he can fall with like a nair if he's close to the ground because it's pretty good on shield, and he's got his bike and stuff like that for good horizontal recovery. So I'll definitely see what I can let you know or how you're handling it.
Cool. Sounds good.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Those will definitely happen on Wi-Fi sometimes. cancel on that up B, but that was pretty good.
No. I always do that. I like neutral air dodge through the ledge.
Yeah.
It's a weird habit that I have. That I can't explain.
Do you find yourself, kind of when you're playing the game, going into an autopilot sense when you're in disadvantage, where maybe you got knocked in the air, you got knocked off stage, and you're definitely focusing on recovering, but you almost hyper focus on just like avoiding the hit from your opponent?
As in like
right there, how you did the neutral
generally-
air dodge, you were like, obviously you wanted to avoid my hit, so you were kind of getting ready to air dodge or whatever, and had you gone for maybe a directional air dodge onto the stage, you would have made it, or had you drifted out and then maybe a beat or something, you would have been able to change up the timing. But you kind of waited to use that specific air dodge as you were falling past the ledge.
I think, yeah, like, so what was going through my head was basically, you killed me for up being by countering off stage. I wasn't sure if you were going to be there in time, so I was like, okay, maybe we'll go for something else.
Okay.
And then I think that was kind of like I don't actually know what to go for.
Yeah.
Autopilot panic option.
Gotcha. With a character like Wario, let's assume you don't have your bike, because in that instance your bike was on stage, so you weren't able to use it. But,
Right, yeah.
with any character really, but especially characters with high aerial mobility, saving that double jump can add a lot of benefit, because let's say I knock you all the way off stage,
I know.
right? You live, and then you
Yeah.
just drift in, and then now you still have your double jump and your up B and an air dodge or whatever it may be. Or even if you burn your air dodge, you still have your double jump. And that can be a good
Right.
way to be like, okay, I'm going in this way, all right, I'm going to drift back because you have that good mobility, double jump and then recover or something like that, or double jump and then just go over me and make it hard to hit. And if you have your air dodge, that allows the possibility for like a double jump, neutral air dodge, or something like that. You definitely want to focus on the opponent when you're off stage, because if you just ignore them, they're going to come hit you. But kind of think about it like this, where you just got knocked off stage and you're kind of like briefly looking at your opponent. You're going, okay, they're right here. I have a mental image of where they are. They're at the ledge or whatever it is. So I need to focus on circumventing their path, so to speak, so they can't hit me. And what tools do I have for that at my disposal? Yeah, I did counter your up B last time I did kill you, but you could also tech it.
Yeah, I think I was like, I guess I don't really know how the buffer system works with teching when you get hit off stage. Like, if I'm supposed to just like hold shield when I know that, I'm in the middle of the getting
I've
countered,
heard, I don't know the exact answer, and I definitely don't want to steer you wrong on this, but I've heard that for offstage techs you can hold it. However, my personal preference of what I do, and what I know a lot of people I know do, is we just prefer to time it. And you can generally get a good idea of when that's going to happen. So if you're up being, you have, and I go for the counter, well, you know when you're going to up B. So you can kind of mentally prepare for it. There's only so much time that can happen, and you're the one who has to activate the counter in that sense. So you can do it and then be ready for it. And that's another thing as well, that you could maybe go into training mode and practice on your own. Maybe make a little custom stage, or get some, the turtle shell item to go back and forth, and kind of just help get yourself in a more comfortable position to be your wall techs, because that is a really important skill you're going to want to have with a character like Wario or someone like that, who has to ride that up B vertically upwards and has the possibility of getting hit by a disjoint or a counter or something like that.
Yeah, so really good advice. One really quick thing.
Sure.
I noticed, so like obviously as Wario, Nair is a good like combo starter and stuff. I noticed you were like ducking a lot. Was that like specifically to avoid?
Yeah, for
like,
me,
you anticipated I was nairing.
That was just for that, or maybe you try and do like a rising fair or something, and it's just easier for me to down tilt you that way. Like, I'm starting ducking, but it is really just try and make it harder for you to hit. But if that's the case, then maybe you could run up and down tilt me, or run up and grab, or fall a little bit closer to the ground with an attack. Yeah, the bike timer unfortunately hadn't responded yet.
Yeah.
Oh, I just burned my double jump on accident. Yeah, you gotta watch out because that move has the invincibility on the ground, frame 1.
Ah, okay, good to...
Yeah, the hitboxes comes out, I think, 4 or 5, but the invincibility when it's on the ground is frame 1, so it's a really good, like, get off me off.
I didn't realize that her up B could, like, hit even though I was in the air. Like, I figured it was something that you do, like, out of shield when they're, like...
It definitely is a good out of shield option, but it's also just, like, a burst to, like... If you're near me, you're not going to be. But it is one of those things where it's like if you do shield it, you know, or something like that, or air dodge it, you probably will be able to punish it.
Right.
I want to get a couple more games in. I'm going to switch off Lucina. I think I'm going to try someone getting a little bit more up close and personal. Just give me a good idea on how you're handling someone who's not, like, super disjointed.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I will say in general, like, one of the things I struggle with the most is characters that either, like, beat out my hitboxes because it's, like, disjointed moves, or for some reason I can't explain, it's, like, they have priority. Like, I feel like a lot of Ness's aerials and some of Yoshi's...
The way a lot of those characters work is they tend to just have really big hitboxes. Because there's not priority in the traditional sense. It's not like Yoshi's in air always beats your in air. It's more like you're likely getting caught either before your hit is active, or they're just catching you with, like, something that's, like, oddly disjointed even though it's their leg.
Right, okay.
The parry though, that was all the way to the side. So good. Oh wow, not the Ghost spike.
Was that, like, not technical, or was
No,
it just,
no,
like,
I was not expecting it. You'll know if it's not technical because there'll be like a red shockwave on the knockback animation. Yeah, something to take into account as well is you might be the rage mechanic it's really good at messing things up. So, like, you know,
like, I know she's light.
Whereas normally, you know, if you hit that at 0, I might have been able to, you know, easily confirm the waft. When you're at 160, which is max rage, then you get a much likelier chance I'm just going to be able to fly away because, you know, I'm light.
Oh, oh my god, that was so cool. Oh my god. What? Okay.
Yeah, parries, when you have that pretty good frame data and you know what's going to happen, they can be pretty strong in this game.
I just didn't realize you could, like, grab. Oh shit, okay. Yeah, I think that just, like, set me off for the rest of the game. The fact that you grabbed me as I was passing you through the parry and then with your fish thing.
Bouncing fish, yeah.
Bouncing fish, yeah. Wow, that was really good. That was really cool.
And that is something that you do have to be careful about. Parrying is especially strong against rising aerials and single hit aerials. So like you were rising there, so it was less likely you were gonna hit the ground. Like if you fall on me with like a really safe aerial, it's you're gonna have that landing lag, which is so small. But when you're in the air, you're stuck in this animation, you're crossing me up. It's a lot easier for me to be like, all right, I'm just gonna hit you.
Yeah.
So things like down air can be super good at, catching someone who's trying to parry because it's that multi-hit. It can punish them. There's also your command grab. If you notice I'm shielding or if you think I'm going to shield, you just fall on top of me with the bite. And it's gonna skip the shield, and then you're going to be able to, either get back from disadvantage or keep your advantage state going. But overall, I feel like you were doing a bit better, like, throwing out hitboxes to contest me. I definitely see what you meant, though, when you were talking about how, like, you feel like you drop your combos a bit as you get them going.
Yeah, I think part of it is definitely online.
Yeah.
Like, it literally feels like it's a full second of flag right
yeah,
now,
it's kind of one of those things where you need to, like, throw the button out almost preemptively. Kind of like I was saying, where you can't wait to, like, visually react to something. You kind of got to know, like, they're going to go here, so I need to already have my button ready.
Yeah, that is
something
I need to work on.
If you feel like it's a lot of the Wi-Fi aspect of it, like, that's something you can just go correct a bit easier when you're playing offline or practicing.
Right.
Oh. The wind box from the grenade.
Oh, that's so cool.
Nice. Yeah, the bike ended up slowing your dash tag down there because I think it would have reached me normally.
Right.
Go for a reap.
Yeah, but I think I meant to do a short hop and then it came out as a full hop.
Gotcha.
What?
You gotta watch out on those jumps. I noticed that when I back throw you like that or put you in a position like that, you often tend to immediately jump and maybe go for the bike. So that's something to watch out for. You don't want to always like go for the same option, even if it does feel like the most comfortable one. Sometimes just waiting or maybe doing like a drift back and jump if you really want to, or something can be better than just immediately jumping and going, because then you're still like right there where your opponent's saying you.
Makes sense.
I was like, I'm pretty sure he's gonna land on top of me here. So I'll go
Okay.
for the invincible option I have.
That is. Oh, okay. Invincible. Cool.
Yeah.
Do you like know when that invincibility starts?
It's I can look it up for you real quick actually to give you an exact idea. It's pretty. It's not like immediate, but it is like. I was kind of using it relative to how close you were, and it was kind of like a. Okay, if I notice that you back out, I'm just gonna go the other way with the vanish, and I'll probably be safe.
Okay.
Let me find Sheik. There
Sounds
she
good.
is.
Yeah, I think in general, what I'm noticing is like, correct me if I'm wrong, you are noticing that like I am kind of just coming at you with attacks a lot, and like with Lucina, you were able to like at the end, well, at one point it was like we were in neutral and you threw out a counter and it hit because you knew that like
Yeah.
I think it was like you might have whiffed something or I forget, but
like I knew you were coming in for the hit.
You knew I was coming in for the hit rather than a grab or like just something to fake you out.
Yeah.
And then you got the up B at the end because I was like jumping on you with an attack.
Yeah.
Same with
For me, it is really paying attention to how you're approaching me. What our general percent, like there's so much information that you can pull from a game, like our stocks, our percents, who's winning, like where you are relative to me at the moment, like the timer. So a lot of it is like paying attention to not only how you've been playing throughout the rest of the entirety of the game, so I have a good idea on like, okay, he's been approaching this way, he's been doing it that way, so I already kind of have a general idea, but also just like, okay, what are you doing at any given moment? Like, oh, maybe you're jumping around me now, so I need to prepare that maybe you're going to go for an attack based on what you've been doing before. Or if maybe I'm in like a really tense situation, like a last game of a tournament set or something. So I'm like, okay, I don't know what he's doing right now. He's jumping around, but maybe I'll play it a little bit safe and assume he's going to try and bait something out so he can whiff punish it. So then I don't commit, right? And I kind of let you commit first. It's like I'm pulling two different sets of information out of a similar scenario based on other things that have happened in the match. If that makes sense. If not, I can definitely try and clear my warp view.
Oh, no, that totally makes sense.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. No, it's like me... Oh, what? I'm not trying to parry that. It is simultaneously me trying to not get my ass completely kicked.
Nah, you're good.
Me listening to you.
No worries. I'm definitely down to repeat anything if you would like me to.
Yeah.
About that Sheik up B though, it is frame 14 of the invincibility. So it's not super fast. Gotta watch out.
Oh shit, okay. It's like a ledge trump, I guess?
Yeah, with the up B.
Okay.
Gotta watch out on those jumps.
Yeah.
Oh, the armor. Sometimes you do kind of just have to cut your losses and go, okay, I'm getting comboed here.
Right.
You definitely do want to DI to like avoid them, but you know that's one of the instances where that up air, I'm pretty sure is going to combo under any circumstance, like the up air and up air. So you got to go, okay, I got getting hit by two of these. What do I do after that second one, so that I don't let it happen again? Oh, that's bad. Yeah, I got it straight out.
Well, I mean, we're talking.
So yeah, you know, making sure you're aware when you're getting hit. Like you were saying, the disadvantage. You do tend to jump a lot, or you find you're struggling to get down per se. Just incorporating like things like your neutral air dodge, like at the last second when you're falling past me, or even sometimes a directional air dodge. It's just one of those things that if you directional air dodge and I'm ready for it, I can just go punish the lag.
Yeah,
The neutral air dodge thankfully doesn't have really any lag. So it's a good way to just cross up. And then, you know, you can also still mix things up. Sometimes you can just fall with an up air or something, or not an up air, or like a down air and air. And sometimes just trading can be good. Like maybe if it's a multi-hit like that, we trade. You're not gonna go anywhere because I hit you with the first hit of a multi-hit. I'm gonna go, a bit of a distance away, and it's gonna have an easier time landing for you. So just trying to incorporate some different things, because really it comes like for most characters you have a couple options at your disposal, and then you just have to mix up the timings and things for those. It's not like a Snake where you can always pull a grenade and change your momentum and things like that. Ooh, that was really
good. The funny thing about it is, my controller has this issue. I don't know if it's common, but like
it'll turn around when you let go of the stick.
It'll turn around automatically.
Yeah, that's
but
called
the thing is like, oh, okay, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
But like sometimes I anticipate it happening, and so I like use it.
You'll
to
prepare, yeah. No, that's definitely fair. Snapback is a common issue. Do you use a GameCube controller?
Yes.
Okay.
It's like a Smash 4 one.
Yeah. They're definitely a thing that will happen. I'm not sure how often you travel to like major tournaments or anything like that. I say that because
I've never been to a major.
Okay. Well, if you ever make your way out to one, they often have like booths with controller, like, engineers, so to speak, people who work on controllers and they can fix snapback. There's definitely online services as well if you're ever interested in like sending in your controller or anything. Just because most people don't know like their own personal friend or whatever who's like working on them, so they usually send it to like a company or not a company, but like a business that someone independently runs. But that is if you're ever really interested in getting it like fixed, if you feel it's like really detrimental to your gameplay or anything like that, because it definitely can mess you up. It messes me up. I use Pro Controller and I've run into it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Do they have the same issue like snapback and everything?
Oh yeah, yeah. They have a lot of dumb issues at times. Honestly, you might have been able to just end my stock right there had you gone for the up tilt for the waft.
Yeah, no, I was like trying to get a little bit more damage, but I don't know exactly how light Sheik is, so...
She's rather light. She's definitely in the featherweight tier, like the lower, like, probably like 25%.
Okay. I thought I had a jumper.
That was good.
Oh, sick. I'm trying to go for two.
Yeah, at that low percent, you're probably better off not even going for one, especially against someone who you know is probably pretty good at mashing.
Right.
Oh.
It was supposed to be a loft, and then it came out as a...
Oh, at the bike. Gotcha. Alright, I'm gonna switch over to Olimar now.
Okay.
And we'll see how that ends up going.
Sounds good.
Don't, you know, if you have any questions about him or what he's doing, feel free to ask someone. Happy to help. This is definitely gonna be me a lot more prominent with my edge, my advantage state. So like, I will get to see how much you're struggling with landing and things like that. So I will do my best to point those things out. But just especially remember for like your, you know, when I'm putting you disadvantages, don't always jump. Mix up your options. Sometimes it's better to drift back. You don't want to get into that pattern of just picking the most easy option.
Right. One thing really quick, I feel like we've been playing on Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah, so what happened, I actually just switched. I had it on random, but I think you might have accidentally had it, you might have had it on Pokemon Stadium, and since mine was on random, it auto does it. But I put mine on Smashville now, so there'll be some variety in there as well.
Okay, I just moved mine to random, so hopefully...
Oh, okay, here. If you put yours on random, I'll put mine on random, and then we can both get it. I was just thinking the same thing as well, yeah.
Just like, I mean, Pokemon Stadium is probably the most common stage.
No, I definitely think the variety is good.
Important, yeah, for sure. Nope. Okay.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good one.
Could you explain what happened there?
Yeah, so...
Did you throw your... Was it a purple?
So, no, it was a yellow. What happens is Olimar can desync his Pikmin's position on platforms and or under them. So, like, right where I am, I can get a Pikmin up top, or if I was up top, I could get it below, and I can actually smash attack or grab while they're up there, even though I'm below, and it will attack as if I was up there.
Okay, and it has to be the first in your line.
In most cases, yeah. If I down smash, I can do it with one up here, one below, or something like that. But what happened was I plucked a yellow Pikmin, and then when you pluck them, they fly out of the... Here, I'll show you real quick. When you pluck them, they fly out of the ground. I'll show you with... Because it doesn't work with... right, so, like... Oh, shut up.
Oh, wow.
So what I did there was I plucked it, and then if Olimar has his Pikmin at the ledge of like a platform or a stage, and I F smash, it will actually fly off the platform.
Yeah.
So what I did is I had it at the edge, and then I F smashed and you jumped into it because I knew you were gonna jump.
Okay. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's definitely a tech you will probably not see much of any other Olimar use. It's I don't want to say it's niche, but it's just underutilized by a lot of them.
Oh, okay. That's unfortunate. Interesting. I mean, I have so many questions, but
no, don't hesitate. You can shoot at me in any order you want.
Yeah. Okay. So the first time you got the jab lock, you hit me. I forget which Pikmin it was, but you did like an F smash. And then the second time it was an up smash with a red Pikmin. Is that like situation dependent, or you just like felt like going for?
It's depending on what I do for my jab lock follow-ups depends on a lot of things. It'll depend on what my current lineup is, what your percent is, like my rage. Like if you're at maybe say we're on a flat stage like Final Destination, I jab lock you at like 20 25 and I have rage, maybe I will down smash after the jab lock to try and put, because it sends you at a low angle to put you in another jab lock situation. If I want raw damage, I'll forward smash, or if I want to kill you, I'll forward smash, or if I think I might be able to try and get an up smash, up air combo, I'll up smash. So it depends a lot on what's happening. Like there, Lilat has those curves, so it makes it harder for me to follow up off down smash. I wanted to try for an up smash combo instead of just a raw F smash, so I went for it there.
Okay, and to clarify, up smash, up air combo, is that like a low percent thing?
Yeah, well, Olimar's up smash combos really well. You can actually up smash into up smash at low percents on a lot of characters. You can also up smash up air, up air. It's very dependent on like your DI and if I hit sour spot or sweet spot. But generally, Olimar can follow up off of his up smash if he does it right, like with an up air, a forward air, a back air, depending on how you DI. So it's a really good combo starter, and it's also a kill move.
That's so much fun. Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. Olimar's pretty sick.
Yeah, he's definitely an interesting character.
Right.
Got it a little close there.
No, why did I just like...
Yeah, it's important to remember that you do have that bike sometimes. You know, being a Wario player, you can definitely get a bit, I don't want to say greedy, but kind of like excessive with how far you go off stage, as long as you're careful about it.
That, yeah. I agree. In that particular case, it was like I thought I had a jump, or maybe I did have a jump, but for some reason
it just didn't
the
come out.
timing didn't come out right.
Yeah.
Or maybe it did, but I like had like an up-B buffered or something.
No, I get what you're saying. So you kind of like messed up what you were doing. It wasn't like that wasn't like how you necessarily anticipated for it
That
to
was
go.
not intentional. Yeah. Ah!
Remember to keep in mind that Olimar is a short dude, so
Yeah.
weird item throw animations or projectile animations like that, I can just straight up run under.
Good to know.
Yeah, it's another good example is like Piranha Plant's Patui is neutral B. If he shoots that up, I can just run under it and grab him or something.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's that height does come in as a bonus in those cases. Something I am noticing, you're definitely, and this is a potential because of Wi-Fi, just missing a lot of text.
Yeah, no. A lot of it is Wi-Fi.
Okay. And I definitely don't want to like
definitely am better.
get on you about it or anything like that. Just something to point out as well. So it's something to work on being a bit more aware of. Like if we are in a close quarters encounter or something like that, kind of mentally prepare yourself to maybe get ready to tech. As a like a preemptive measure.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in general, as much as like I hate to say it, I need to get better at like dealing with the fact that the input lag is not going to be perfect.
Yeah, and Wi-Fi is one of those things that once you kind of get used to it, it is a very good tool for learning. But you don't use it as the same as you would like offline practice. It's more so for maybe working on how you're predicting or your general understanding of how a matchup works, like what tools beat what, as opposed to the more raw, like, all right, I'm going to react to this, or I'm going to do, you know, the frame perfect, you know, punishes or whatever it is. And that's like the execution stuff is definitely what you want to be working on in person. And then they kind of culminate together when you're playing in a more serious environment. You're like, okay, well, I know how things work because I've maybe played this online a bit, and I understand that, like, you know, my up tilt can handle this option, or so on and so forth.
Good to know, yeah.
I assume accidental?
Completely,
Yeah.
When does Wario down? Like,
no, you're not wrong on that one.
anyone do that?
Ooh, that was really good.
I was like, okay, I'm just gonna start because I can't kill right now.
No, I mean, definitely, sometimes you just gotta let it rip.
Is that a dash attack?
Yeah, it can cross up on certain characters of space really well.
Is up smash a better kill option?
Then forward
like
smash,
a stage
or...
thing? Yeah.
It-
Like in that situation.
It's just the least laggy compared to forward smash. Down smash won't kill that often. It can definitely kill, don't get me wrong, but it's the weakest for killing. Up smash, if I hit the sour spot, it's really good for killing, and it's gonna be less committal than a forward smash, but in the event that I whiff it.
Yeah.
And it hits really hard.
I mean, yeah, I see that.
Yeah, so if I hit that sweet spot, like, I'm for sure taking your stock, whereas with a forward smash, I run the risk of maybe, like, sour spotting, because the sour spot only active 2 frames since they nerfed it.
Oh, wow, okay. Is it like a situation where it has high base drop?
No, like, the move just straight up hits hard. If it hits sour spot, it's just... Yeah, base knockback and knockback growth, I think, order. Wait, wait, my bad, you good? Hello?
Oh, hi. I think I just disappeared for a second.
Oh, I mean, I heard you going in now, but we seem to be good now.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I was asking... Oh, did you get my question?
The knockback growth and base knockback?
Yeah.
What it is essentially is base knockback is like how hard a move would hit without, like... I don't know the exact definition for it, but it's pretty much, if a move has high base knockback, it's going to hit hard most all the time. It's going to be really good for launching, whereas knockback growth is one of the moves that hit a lot harder the higher percent you're at. It's really weird to describe. I could probably send you a much...
Right.
If you'd like, after this session, I can send you a more detailed explanation of it. I can probably explain it better than I can. But relative to Olimar's attacks, it's like his F smash and his up smash hit hard, like really hard all the time, if they hit their sweet spots. The thing is that his up smash has a sour spot directly in front of it that does not kill at like 140, 150. It's noticeably weaker. It has some potential use for comboing because you can combo at higher percents, but it's not a kill move. And then F smash, it has 2 sour spots. One of them can kill. Well, all of them can kill, but like the middle one can still kill, but it's noticeably weaker in the F smash than the sweet spot. And they nerfed his forward smash to be active, sweet spot active only 2 frames instead of 4. So like unless you're right on me or something like that, oftentimes my attack can sour spot. And if it's sour spot, you're definitely not going to lose stock.
Okay.
Plus, we were in the middle of the stage there, and I knew that it was just gonna up smash was gonna be better because I don't worry about any position stuff.
Right. How quickly are you able to like act out of your up B?
Are you saying when I'm in the air or when I like land?
Yeah, like when you're in the air, it looks like you're kind of able to.
Yeah, my whistle has super armor frames 2 through 6 or 2 through 7.
Okay.
So the way his up B works is if I use it in the air, it doesn't have a very long like wait time, so I can usually act pretty immediately. If I use it on the ground, I have to wait like 30 something ish frames, I believe, before I can act. But in the air, I treat it kind of like a third jump. Yeah, it says like right here, it's like frame 30 is the earliest you can cancel the move. But when I'm in the air, I can cancel it whenever, and then I'm landing a lot of the time. Like if I use it closer to the ground, I'm auto canceling my move, so I don't have any landing lag when I do it. So it's kind of like a safe way to throw out an extra attack.
And you're auto canceling it by
like doing it a certain height like this.
Oh, okay. As opposed to if you were to land it.
Like if I landed like that, and there's all that extra lag.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that an up air?
Yeah, that's up air.
Okay. Oh my god, the thing about Olimar, the one thing that is so weird to me is I never know when I'm getting grabbed. It's just like the animation.
Oh yeah. It's he pretty much points his finger out and the pigmen fly towards you super quick. Yeah, that'll definitely happen. Yeah, it definitely will those high percents, and if you're not DIing for it. When you're doing those like non-combo oriented ones, especially, they're a lot easier for me to be like, okay, you're probably gonna land on me with a hitbox, and it's probably going to be something like a waft or some single hit, and it's gonna make it a lot easier for me to go for a whistle or something.
Okay.
So it's kind of like, oh, up maximum on. It's kind of like because you were looking. I was talking about like going off what I was talking about earlier, where it's like, okay, I was looking at the position of the match, my position relative to yours, things like that. I was able to go, okay, he's probably going to walk here, and have an idea of what you're going to do before you even did it.
Right. Which makes you, able to confidently.
Yeah, and I went for that read. Like I whistled with the intent, like the assumption that you were going to waft, and I didn't really, like, I wasn't necessarily preparing for something like a down air, which could have, used its multi-hit properties and then beat me.
Right. Which Pikmin was that?
That was a yellow. And what happens, though, is Pikmin are really stupid in a lot of ways, but they're kind of broken in some other ways, and one of the broken/stupid ways is when I attack with a Pikmin, when its hurt box is out, or its hitbox is out, like it has its own attack out, it will clank with any move if it's a smash attack. So it'll lose to aerials, it'll clank with grounded attacks, but before its hitbox comes out, so say on the starting frames of a smash attack, my Pikmin that I'm attacking with desyncs itself from my line, so it becomes active in the sense that it can be hit, its hurt box activates. And what can happen is when I start the attack, oh sorry, I just hit my mic. When I start the attack, if you have an attack there as well, like you had a dash attack that I had just parried, it will hit my Pikmin as it's starting its smash attack animation, and it will desync its position to where you are, and it will then continue its attack from there after absorbing your attack. But the downside in this game is that it can also kill the Pikmin. So say your dash attack hit a different Pikmin or had enough damage to kill my Pikmin would have died and my attack would have whiffed. It was a lot more broken in Smash 4 where it would always cancel the death animation and continue.
Oh wow, that's so cool. And so it's specifically because you like desynced it from flying.
Yeah. So what happens is I parry and then I smash attack there, and your dash attack desyncs it for me. So I'm using your hit to adjust my position and absorb your hitbox and things like that.
Right.
So just wrapping up for time. If you want to do a best 2 out of 3, we can do that, and then I can give you some closing thoughts, and you can ask me any last minute questions or any things you have that were lingering, if that's all right.
Sure.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Definitely noticing the biggest things were kind of your defensive game, obviously working on teching more off stage, on stage, being confident in what you're doing. I think your disadvantage isn't terrible, just really mixing up the things like the air dodge and falling with aerials. Just a few options you do have, so you make it a bit harder to pin down. And sometimes it is better just to cut your losses and be like, you know what, I'm gonna go to the ledge here. I don't feel comfortable trying to land on like Lucina, so I'll go to the ledge where it's a different type of disadvantage.
Right. Yeah, I think the main thing that I'm learning is just because you're still in disadvantage doesn't mean it's like a bad thing. It's better to take your time getting back to neutral.
Yeah.
And not trying to overextend.
There are times where you will be like, okay, I think I can brute force my way down, and throw out an attack. I'm definitely, I'm an aggressive player by nature, so I try to do that maybe a bit too much. But even myself, I'm like, you know what? I cannot just attack my way down. They are ready for it. I will maybe take a hit, accept what this combo's happening, and then from there go, okay, I think I know how to get down. Mix up my air dodge timing, go to the ledge. Use my in your case, your bike or something like that.
Right.
Oh, not yet. I can get through if you want.
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely. I would love.
Oh.
Oh my god, that's so easy.
Yeah, it reaches a while. I was kind of waiting. I was like, if you regular get up, I should be able to get you. If you're, if you do a get up attack and a shielded. And that's an instance where you could have been like, you know what, he's holding shield. Maybe I'll do a drop down jump neutral B to beat out a shield there.
Okay. I think, yeah, I haven't practiced that one specifically. I'm afraid of not going back on the ledge and then just jumping you off stage.
But even then, if you do have your bike, I can't remember if you had it. I don't think
sure
you did.
I did, yeah.
But if you do, you can definitely just try and swim me into the stage, maybe mix up, stage biking or something like that, and then, recover yourself. But even then, it's that's something that you can go in with practice and be like, you know what, I'm able to, I'm confident that I know how to hit this. This drop down from ledge jump neutral B to land on stage. That's another thing with practice. It really does come down to confidence in what you're doing and knowing that you go for these plays because you assume they're gonna work. You have to assume they're gonna work, or else why even do them?
Right. Yeah, I think that's a huge mentality shift for me. And I think the other thing too is the people I usually face are generally worse than I am, just because I don't really play against people that take the game seriously.
Yeah.
So I feel like the options that I think I have, when I play someone who's significantly better, I learn it's oh, these aren't actually safe, or this isn't actually a good way to do.
Yeah,
things.
it kind of opens your eyes. It's wait, no, you can't do that against someone who's a bit more experienced and knows how to handle it.
Right.
No, I definitely get what you're saying. Even I've played against players where I'm like, okay, what do I do? They kind of open up your eyes and it's oh no, I need to rethink how I'm handling certain things. But that's something that'll definitely come with time. Just always be critical of yourself and be like, okay, what can I be doing that's gonna be better? So that you're not like, you don't want to let yourself stagnate. If something doesn't work, you want to try and figure it out ASAP, so you know for next time.
Right.
You grabbed me right as the bike hit me. So it did a ton of damage, but it didn't go anywhere.
Oh my. Oh, wait, no.
You just assumed it was going to take the stock.
Honestly,
Honestly, it would have if it wasn't so stale.
Yeah. Oh, damn. Is Olimar's... Okay, actually, I don't actually know this, but your neutral getup looked like really slow. Is that an Olimar thing? Is that
Are you talking about when I'm on the ledge?
Yeah, like you just did like a neutral getup and it looked like...
I don't know the exact frame data on it, but I can tell you that it is quite reactable. His disadvantage is his worst spot by far, whether it be in the air or on the ledge. But on the ledge, it's one of those things where like you kind of just hold shield and you just react to what he does. That's sometimes the best option.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
I think one of the things I've been trying to not do is just hold shield at the ledge. Like it's been helpful for some cases, but I feel like I see some top players and they're like kind of moving around and they try to cover multiple options.
It depends on what character you're playing against and what you're playing as. I would definitely, if you find other, like I don't know how often you watch maybe top Wario players, but if you find them going for different types of ledge trapping or maybe they're moving around more, it's definitely something that you shouldn't not do. But you know, if you feel like Olimar's at the ledge and you're confident that he doesn't really have any options, sometimes holding shield can kind of just be like a good idea. But you know, maybe start out holding shield, run up to the ledge, hold shield a little bit, and then incorporate maybe a jump back into an aerial or something like that to coerce him into doing something. There's not one specific strategy that's going to do it all.
Okay, yeah, no, for sure. I think, especially with characters I don't know, I have to get better at like not just saying, oh, I don't know the matchup, but instead being like, you know, this character is doing these things, I should respond in these ways.
Yeah, you know, if you're fighting a character who's keeping you out of neutral a lot with their disjoints, then all right, well now you got to go. All right, well I'm having trouble getting in. Am I approaching too much? That's a good question to start with. Okay, if I'm approaching too much, what do I do? Maybe I'll try and use some of my movement to maybe whiff punish them. You know, like make it seem like I'm gonna go in and then feint out and then try and punish them with something. Or maybe I'll run in and try and incorporate parries in my gameplay, so I can run in confident they're gonna swing, parry it, get a punish. You know, there are different ways that you can incorporate these strategies to help mix up your game plan, and it's definitely the type of thing that's going to make it like you're not going to be able to come up with an answer on the fly, and you're going to lose sometimes. We all do. But it's that dedication to consistently ask yourself, what could I be doing better? What is going wrong? Because yeah, your character does have legitimate flaws, but at the end of the day, you're making that decision to get in that spot to begin with. You know, maybe you're in a spot where you don't have an answer, but if you go back one step, well, you had an answer there, so what went wrong?
Right.
And that's a good mentality to have overall. Like, definitely blame yourself, not the character, under most circumstances.
For sure, yeah.
But I think
especially in Ultimate.
Yeah.
The top 50 are like
yeah,
basically viable.
There's a lot of room to work with a lot of these characters.
Yeah. For sure.
But I think for you, the biggest things I'm noticing are a lot of that confidence in what you're doing. Like when you go for an attack or something, just be ready to go for it. Don't second guess yourself.
Yeah.
When you're practicing offline, work on your conversions. Understand where your opponent can go when you hit them with an up tilt. So when you go for that up tilt, you're ready to immediately act. You're not waiting. Because that's going to cost you precious time. And a lot of these conversions are airtight. Like, if you want that waft, you better be ready to get that waft because you don't have time.
Yeah, for sure.
Your disadvantage, I think you were mostly against me. It felt mostly fine in terms of like getting hit. Like, you weren't getting juggled too much, just incorporating those neutral air dodges. But when I was beginning to press my advantage on you or something, I found that maybe you were jumping out of disadvantage a lot, or you were trying to always fall back to your bike. So I'd watch out on doing that as much, and just go, okay, I got hit. Let me drift back. I still have my double jump. I still have my bike. I can incorporate these different mix-ups to help my recovery to get back to the ledge or something. When you're at the ledge, you have these options like the drop down, jump neutral B. You have all the standard ledge options. It can go a long way to incorporate different timings. You know what you're gonna do, and that can throw your opponent off a lot. Your neutral game, it seemed mostly fine. I think with Wario, you do have the liberty of playing a little bit more bait and punish, where you're kind of in and out because you do have such high aerial mobility. So don't be afraid to kind of like act like you're going to go in, or when you do go in, use one of those safe hitboxes like a neutral air on my shield. It is pretty safe, you know, things like that, so you can pressure somewhat with it. And then, you know, it's definitely no Palutena where you've got some of these crazy super big moves, but you do have these buttons that you can press up close, especially against a character like Olimar, who doesn't have the fastest frame data in the game. It's not a Mario, it's not a young Link, you know. It's someone a bit slower, so you can smother them because of that.
What kind of, I mean, really quick, I don't want to take too much of your time,
No, you're
but like,
fine.
what would you say are like some of the best out of shield options for Olimar? Like, I was trying to think, like up smash,
so
maybe.
His fastest are forward air and neutral air. They're both frame 10 because 3 frames of jump squat plus the 7 frame startup. They can work. Up smash is 12. It's frame 12. It's alright, but it does run into the issue of if you have a lingering hitbox, my Pikmin can die on startup because the desync thing I was telling you about earlier. And that even happens off of parry. And then his grab is actually really bad out of shield of option because it's normally frame 12, but when you shield grab in this game, there's an additional 4 frames of startup, so it's a frame 16 option. So what Olimar does a lot of the time is he gets a shield hit, and if he can attack, he will. If not, he rolls out, he jumps away, he does something that isn't, like, you know, that's not going to get him punished. And that's why I was saying you can smother him with those things like the neutral airs on shields, the down tilts, things like that are really quick and strong punishing options.
Right. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Not to take any more of your time, so just I want to thank you. This is like this has been super cool.
Don't sweat it, man.
Meeting basically a celebrity of Smash,
no,
and some fantastic advice.
Yeah, I will get you that document and get this video uploaded within a couple days, like I was saying. And if you ever have any like one-off questions or something that you're wondering about, or you could use like a piece of advice on, don't hesitate to DM me. I like to give the people that pay for my lessons the luxury of being able to get some advice from the person they're paying. So yeah, if you ever have like oh, Myron, how do you handle this specific, you know, what would you recommend for this? I'll be like, all right, well, there's that. But yeah, hope it helped. Definitely hope you're able to improve some of the stuff. Just be really confident in what you do and practice your gameplay offline so you get that muscle memory and execution down. And I think you'll be really fine, and you'll be able to work on the more abstract concepts of Smash from there. But anyways, thank you, and I will talk to you soon to get you all this information.
Of course, yes. Talk to you soon. Thank you so much.